Hey, what's going on? I am Dudley, picking up some heavy equipment, doing some things for Grindstone Ministries, so we could break ground at Caleb House. Just picked up this Bobcat. A brother is lending it to us. And before I got back on the road, I thought about some things like, who can you trust with your life? Well, you could trust people with equipment like that. You can entrust people with your equipment like this, the trailers and different things like that, different trucks. You can trust people with tools. You can trust people with quite a big amount of things. You can even trust some people with money. But who can you actually trust with your life? The Father has given us this privilege of this existence, and it is a learning experience that we need to really dive into and understand the reason why. We may never, in this one chance that we get in life, understand the reason why we're living, but we have this opportunity that we're squandering away. The Father gave us this breath, and He's entrusting us with our own life, but what are we doing wasting away? Some people will eat unhealthy, drink, smoke, but then they'll do all of be promiscuous, and then wonder why certain bad things happen to them. But then they'll be cautious with who they bring around themselves, their family, different things like that, because they don't trust people well. Well, are you really trusting yourself? You do all of these damaging things to yourself, but you're so untrustworthy to everyone on the outside of your circle, which is smart. I'm not saying don't do that. Don't just open up your gates for anyone, because that will tend to be very unhealthy. But I have issues with letting go of certain tasks. It's more difficult for me to explain to people what to do than actually just doing it. So I will just get quiet, put my head down, go forward and grind. When I have to let go and let someone else take on the task, that is very trying. When I was an over-the-road truck driver and needing to, when I was a truck driver, period, not even going over the road, and I had to train a driver, I am putting the trust in this person, one, not to damage my truck, but two, not to kill themselves or me, not to get into a wreck, and not kill a innocent bystander, not run a red light, not fly down the highway and go into a bunch of stopped vehicles because of weather or an accident or something like that. There were some major trust issues that I had to get over to be able to do that. You don't realize, you teach somebody how to drive, maybe in a parking lot or something like that. You may have a fender bender, but if you have 80,000 pounds of hazardous chemicals behind you, that might not be the best time that you want to put out the trust that, if you if you bump into someone, everything will be okay. No, if you bump into someone running hazmat, there are so many different agencies that will have to be called, because even if nothing spilled, they still have to come out and test everything. They still have to check and do drug tests on everyone that's involved because of how risky it is. Get out of here, fly. This fly is just biting on me. But when you have children, you have to go into a trust with that other person that they won't do something wrong, that they're above me. I apologize about that, little bit of technical difficulties, but we're back. What was I saying? When you go into a partnership, which I pray that it is marriage and then you have children, but just like in my situation, I wasn't married, I was young, and then tried to make things right without any acceptance. And that there had to be a trust that nothing would happen to my son football. I had to go with a lack of communication and trust with his life that everything will be taken care of. Then when he was in school, having that trust that the schools would be able to watch over him and protect him, that he wouldn't jump off of something and injure himself. There's so much trust that you have to put in so many other people, where you could be reckless with yourself. Stop being reckless with yourself. Figure out the path that you're on and what you need to do. And granted, everybody's going to take chances from time to time, but you don't want that time to be your last time. So really think about what you're doing, what your goals in life are, what your life plan is. How are you dealing with stress? Are you just tipping back a bottle? Like, is that the smartest thing to do, the best thing to do? It's not what I do. I think about the problem, I either solve the problem or I let it go or wait to take care of it another day. But I don't let that stress sit on me. You don't want your heart and your mind to be dwelling on all that stuff. You got to learn how to let go and let Yah. Father gave you that ability to trust in Him, to pray, to be able to give it up to Him. Not saying that you'll be absolved from anything that it is that you're doing. Not saying that is like, oh, it's just a no. Oh man, so many technical difficulties with this video. It must be a message that really needs to get out. So I think all that I'm really trying to say is trust in the Father and don't stress about what's going on around you. Those trust issues that you have, they are in place for a reason, for you to be cautious about what's going on outside of you. But you also need to look inside yourself and see, if you walked up to yourself, would you allow yourself in that trust circle? Would you? Are you that type of person that people want to be around? Are you that type of person that people put trust in? Or are you that type of person that people shuns because you've done wrong in the past and you haven't shown that you've changed. You're just still going down that exact same cycle. You got to be able to get trust from other people. You have to give trust to people, and that's a losing cause that a lot of people find problems with. It's like, oh well, I got passed over for this, or I feel like they're looking at me some way. Are you carrying yourself like a man or a woman, if any women are actually watching this? Or are you walking around with your head down, sulking everywhere that you go, looking shifty, looking shady, not walking with your head up high and your chest out? Not trying to be boastful, but look like someone that someone wants to be around, or someone wants to emulate, someone wants to do business with. Because if you're not doing that, you're just completely out there lost, and you're going to end up lonely. Figure it out. Pray, read the word. It's a plan in there. So many people in the word did messed up stuff. They were given opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, but the Father got tired of giving them these chances because they wouldn't listen. You have that opportunity now because you're listening to this. Trust in the Father and go do something good. Shalom.